Don't be misled by the door behind me. I'm not in jail. I'm not close to the jail. It's just rainy and misty this morning, and I wanted to do this. Uh, Today is not my birthday, but when I publish this, it will be. And so, just for me, I've put together a few little pieces of verse that I kind of like, and thought I'd share them, and I hope you like them too. Don't be misled by the title of the first one, or there's another one later on, and I'll point that out too, because it's not August at all. But I thought this poem by George Bilger, and everyone knows he's like one of my favorites. I thought this poem was apropos. It's titled August, but for today, let's just say it's titled September. Just when you'd begun to feel you could rely on the summer, that each morning would deliver the same mourning dove singing from his station on the phone pole, same smell of bacon frying somewhere in the neighborhood, same sun burning off the coastal fog by noon, when you could reward yourself for a good morning's work with lunch at the little seaside cafe with its shaded deck and iced tea. The day's routine finally down like an old song with minor variations. There comes that morning when the light tilts ever so slightly on its track. A cool gust out of nowhere, whirlwinds, a litter of dead grass across the sidewalk, and swimsuits are piled on the sale table, and the back of your hand, which you thought you knew, has begun to look like an old leaf, or the back of someone else's hand. But Jane Hirschville to the rescue with her poem called Not Yet. Morning of buttered toast, of coffee sweetened with milk. Out the window snow spruces step from their cobwebs. Flurry of chickadees feeding, then gone. A single cardinal stipples an empty branch, one maple leaf tilted back. I turn my blessings like photographs into the night. Over my shoulder, the God of not yet looks on. Not yet dead. Not yet lost. Not yet taken. Not yet shattered. Not yet sectioned. Not yet strewn. Ample litany, sparing nothing I hate or love. Not yet silenced. Not yet fractured. Not yet. Not yet. Not. I move my ear a little closer to that humming figure. I ask him only to stay. I haven't done a lot of Hal Sirowitz. Hal's right on up there in the glorified circle of the dozens and scores and maybe even hundreds of my favorite poets. His are seldom serious, almost always whimsical, and they always come from his father or his mother or his therapist or just out of thin air. This one is from his Father Said book. It's called Undecided. Your mother and I didn't know what to get you for a present, Father said. We kept asking you, but you wouldn't tell us, so we got what's good for all occasions, a shirt. But since we've given you that for your last 3 birthdays, we were hoping to give you something different. We were thinking of just giving cash, but that had been too impersonal. Plus, you might have saved it and not spent it. This way, even if you don't wear them, we still might get some use out of them. If you suddenly started accusing us of never getting you anything, we could open your drawer and show you the shirts. Just because you don't wear them doesn't negate our intent. Yeah, I can't quite relate to that, but yeah, well, maybe I can. Another by Hal. what followed your birth. You might not like being reminded of your birthday, Father said, but your mother and I do. Your birth was a happy occasion. What followed was both good and bad. That was to be expected, but what we didn't expect was that you'd be the last of your friends to get a job, which you still haven't gotten yet. It just took you longer to get started. You had to go back to school. That wouldn't have been so bad if you were learning something. But after all these years, to still not know what you want for a present doesn't speak well for education. David Budbill is anything but whimsical. And I can truly identify with this one. It's called The Woodcutter Changes His Mind. When I was young, I cut the bigger, older trees for firewood. The ones with heart rot, dead, broken branches, the crippled and deformed ones, because I reasoned that they were going to fall soon anyway, and therefore I should give the younger trees more light and room to grow. Now I'm older, and I cut the younger, strong and sturdy, solid and beautiful trees. And I'll let the older ones have a few more years of light and water and leaf in the forest they've known so long. Soon enough, they'll be prostrate on the ground. And boy, can ever I identify with that, and can I ever appreciate the heck out of that. And I'm going to go cut down some young, strong trees this very day. I started the first one with August, although it's September. I'm going to end this one with November, except it's September, because this is one by Barbara Crooker, she's up there in the haloed circle. It's called Poem for My Birthday. And when she says it's November, just think, no, it's September. It's November, light of amber, plum-colored sunsets. The remaining leaves somber, russets and umber, the last bits of color before winter's muslin drop cloths are laid down. God of the ginkgo trees, whose little lemon fans have fallen, God of the red oaks, still hanging on, hear my birthday prayer. Send me a heart of gratitude for this long afternoon of goldenrod light falling across my typewriter in a sky so blue I want to bite it like an apple. Let me walk in deep leaves on the way to dinner, scuffling and kicking my Buster Brown shoes like a 9-year-old girl. Let the blackboard of sky be full of stars, writing all the old stories. When I go back to work, let me write one good thing that is true. This afternoon, 2 crows were arguing off in the distance. They both want the last word. So do I. God, Barbara Crooker is just, if I was 100 years old instead of slightly younger, I'd say she's a cat's meow. So, happy birthday to all of you when it's your time.